Guys, like, comment, subscribe, share the video, especially if you love MMA as much as I do. So it's finally going to happen at UFC 295 in November. Jon Jones versus Stipe Miocic for the UFC Heavyweight Championship. This is a fight that's been in a long time in the making. Easily could have happened 5 years ago when Stipe was champion. Before he lost to Cormier in his first fight with him out of 3 fights that they had. Let's look at the skill set. Let's start with Stipe. Stipe is a challenger. Stipe has really good wrestling. He's really strong. He's a really good dirty boxer. He's good in the clinch. He's a very smart fighter. He's a patient fighter. Once he gets into a rhythm, it's very, very hard to stop him. And he can finish you. He does have heavy hands. He can knock you out. But if he has to grind you out and beat you by decision, he can do that too. Never seen him submit anybody or get submitted, so that's interesting if he brings that to this fight. And then let's look at Jon Jones. Jon Jones is the man right now. He's really good at everything. Really good wrestling, good takedown defense. You can ask Daniel Cormier about that. He can take you down. Really strong, great striker, good at picking guys apart. He can take you down and submit you. He's good at controlling the fight. He can lean on you if he needs to, as far as putting you up against the cage, up against the fence, and just wear you down and get a decision over you. He can knock you out with head kicks. Ask Cormier about that. Shout out to Daniel Cormier. I'm kidding. He's one of my favorite fighters too. Really hard to pick a winner here. On one hand, it looks easy to pick Jon Jones because he never loses fights. Matter of fact, Stipe lost to Cormier, and guess who never lost to Cormier? Jon Jones beat him twice. However, Stipe did come back to beat DC twice in a row after that. A TKO and a pretty convincing decision victory, sending Cormier off into retirement. My heart's telling me Stipe, but my brain's telling me Jon Jones. It just depends, because Jon Jones is patient. He's good at picking guys apart. He doesn't need a finish, but I guess in championship fights, you have to give it to Jon Jones at light heavyweight. This is the heavyweight division. I know he ran through Cyril Gahn and threw him around and choked him out pretty easily in that fight. But let's be honest here. Cyril is not a wrestler. He's not a grappler. He's known for his striking. And Jon Jones looked pretty slow in there when he was moving around. Now, I don't know. I don't know if it was a matter of him being nervous because he hadn't fought in 3 years, or because he put on so much weight to move up to heavyweight, he's just that slow. You're going to have to move I wouldn't say he needs to move a lot faster, but grabbing a guy that knows how to wrestle and a guy who's probably going to be 250 pounds or more at heavyweight, when you fight him, that's going to be a different story, who knows how to grapple. Again, Stipe's not the best at what he does as far as one skill, but he does everything so well together, and he sticks to the game plan. He's very tough. He's beaten a lot of guys. Cormier twice, Ngannou, Dos Santos, Overeem, Verdum. Most successful UFC heavyweight champion of all time. Most successful light heavyweight champion of all time. If this fight was at light heavyweight, I picked Jon Jones to beat anybody. This fight's at heavyweight. Here's the thing. I just don't see Jon Jones ragdolling Stipe. I don't see him doing what he wants to do with him. No one has been able to do that yet. And no one's been able to quite put him away except for Ngannou. Ngannou's the baddest man on the planet right now because he hasn't lost. It's fair to say that, right? So unless Jon Jones gets a decision because he's able to evade and not get hit too much and just keep Stipe at distance and then just take him down and control him the whole time, which is how he would beat him. I'll make videos about how each guy beats each other in the future. I have to pick Stipe. I mean, Stipe's got the most experience at heavyweight. He's the most proven heavyweight he's going to fight at this point as far as experience and championship accomplishments. Most accomplished heavyweight he'll fight at this weight class. So I think Stipe gets a finish. It's one thing to ragdoll guys at 205 and to grab a kickboxer who's clearly nervous about fighting you versus fighting a guy that's not scared of anybody, a guy that loves being the underdog, because Jon Jones is going to be the favorite in this fight, as he should be. And Stipe is going to stop at nothing to beat you. So I think Jon Jones is going to come in here. I think Stipe's going to close distance a lot, put him against the cage. He's going to be the bigger guy of the two, or about the same size, but because it's his weight class, he's going to be more used to it, whereas Jon is going to have to be carrying around another man way past the first or second round, and he's probably going to not be able to handle it so well. I think Stipe is going to wear down Jon Jones with his dirty boxing, most notably shots to the body like he did with Cormier. I think he finished it in early, late fourth round. I think he finishes Jon Jones. I just think Jon Jones taking punishment from a heavyweight and here's the thing, Cormier said it himself. When you fight at light heavyweight, you don't get hit with those heavy shots. At heavyweight, it's a whole nother ball game. So I think Jon Jones gets a taste of fighting a really good, well-rounded, legendary heavyweight, and I think it comes back to haunt him, thinking he can go in there and just ragdoll. Skill-wise, he's better than Stipe. But Stipe's tough. He's very tenacious. He's very stubborn. He's hard-headed, and he loves being the underdog. So I got Stipe by TKO fourth round, ground and pound.